Hello, hello, and welcome to episode 176 of the Compassion and Cucumbers podcast. I'm Christine.
And I'm Sam.
Here's what's coming up in today's show. In our noteworthy segment, we're talking about how new vegan meat producer Meaty Foods looks like they might be in a little bit of financial trouble.
And in our main topic, well, it's been a while since we've done this, but we're boarding the vegan Reddit AITA train once more for a trip down to Crazy Town.
Those are always a good time.
They really are.
But before we get into all that, you know what we do. We talk about what we've been up to.
It's been a busy time.
It has. Thank you, everybody, for listening to last week's replay of Vegan New York City.
Yeah.
That was a fun trip, and I hope
trip.
you enjoyed the recap if you'd heard it before. And if you hadn't heard it before, it's a pretty good episode, so I hope you enjoyed all the fun places that we went and things that we ate and all that jazz.
But this past week, we actually had a visitor in the house.
A visitor?
We did. We had a visitor.
Yes, a very special guest.
Very special guest. The friend of mine who I have known longest in the world, outside of my immediate family. And so she came out. She was also a dancer. And so she was spending some time here working with my students, which was absolutely spectacular. So to get to spend a week with her and watch her work and watch my students work for her, like, it was just really fantastic.
Yeah, it was great having her here too.
It was just a supremely happy week.
It was.
Me.
It was a good week.
Yeah.
It was a good week. And while her friend, her name is Natalie.
Yep, Nat.
While she was here, they were going to be, Sam and Nat were going to be out of the house a lot at rehearsals and working a lot. So I wanted to make a lot of food that we could keep stocked in the refrigerator that they could grab and go or come home and eat.
Yes.
And so I made a massive pasta bake, a rigatoni bake.
With broccoli.
With broccoli and zucchini and some Beyond sausage. And everybody seemed to like that a lot.
Yeah, I think we had that as a snack for 4 nights.
Yeah.
When we got home from rehearsal. So, yeah.
Yeah. I made a big vat of chili. And that went over pretty well.
Yep, the 3-bean and sweet potato chili.
Yeah, it was really good.
Super good.
Yeah, and and I made some black bean and kale enchiladas.
You sure did.
Yeah.
And you made us some sesame ginger soba noodles.
That's right, I did. I made a sesame
tofu.
ginger, was sesame peanut ginger.
Oh, thank you. I forgot the peanut.
Yeah, there was peanut butter in there too. You know, like a peanut sauce, kind of like a Thai peanut sauce. Ginger and veg and all that jazz. Something that's good either hot or cold. So
Yeah.
it all went over really well.
It did.
I always enjoy cooking when there's an omnivore in the house because I like to, see what they like.
Yeah, and everything went over really, really well. Every single dish came back completely clean.
I was glad she liked everything that I made.
Yeah, I wasn't at all surprised.
Yeah, I mean, you just never know.
No, you don't. But, as we were talking throughout the week, Natalie was saying that when she's on her own, she is essentially vegetarian, that she doesn't eat much meat when she's on her own. When she's at home with her husband, he eats more meat.
Yeah.
And so she consumes more as well. But whenever she's kind of out doing one of these types of residencies, if she's on her own and no one's cooking for her, she does lean towards the vegetarian. So.
Yeah. But I'm always happy when there's somebody that doesn't have any hang-ups as far as food goes.
Oh, yeah.
No food allergies.
Nope.
So you can just make whatever you want and just hope that they like it. So.
Yeah. And, along with all of that, we were doing tofurkey sandwiches for lunch some days.
Yeah.
And we were taking fresh fruit and, all kinds of yummy things.
Yeah, so that was a good time.
It really was.
I was really glad to have her here. And so that brings us to this week's noteworthy section. And like I said in the opening, we're going to be talking about vegan meat company Meaty Foods. Apparently, they're facing financial collapse, which is really kind of heartbreaking because they're not that old of a company. And this comes to us from Veg News.
$450 million mycelium meat darling Meaty Foods faces sudden collapse after a lender's unexpected fund withdrawal, threatening operations and 150 jobs at its Colorado facility. Meaty Foods, a Colorado-based company known for its plant-based meat alternatives, is facing a major financial crisis after its lender unexpectedly pulled funding. As a result, the company has warned state officials that it may have to shut down its manufacturing facility in Thornton, Colorado, and lay off 150 employees by May 6th, 2025, unless it can secure new financing. The Worker Adjustment and Retraining Notification Notice details the lender unexpectedly removed cash from our accounts and took control of remaining cash reserves on Friday, February 28th, and the action was not reasonably foreseeable. Consequently, Meaty Foods stated, based on this action, we do not have sufficient funding to continue operating. Despite this alarming development, sources familiar with the situation say Meaty Foods continues to operate, with production at the Thornton, Colorado facility still ongoing. The company is actively seeking new financing to avert the planned layoffs and maintain operations. The lender's actions were reportedly triggered by Meaty's failure to meet specific revenue and margin targets, despite the company nearly doubling its revenue in the previous year and expanding distribution by 130%.
Wow. That's kind of like that's the risk you take when you take on investors like that, because they have certain criteria that your company better meet or they're going to pull your funding.
Right, absolutely. And, never considering whether or not those targets are even reasonable.
Yeah.
I mean, if the company has doubled its revenue from the previous year and expanded its distribution by 130%, that seems pretty great to me.
It does. And I really hope that they figure it out or get another bank to back them, because their product is really, it's kind of groundbreaking. They're
really
using,
is.
mycelium to make vegan meats, and we've had the Meaty products, and they're pretty darn good.
They are.
Yeah, so I hope they figure it out.
Me too. So, Meaty Foods, co-founded by Tyler Huggins and Justin Whiteley, has been at the forefront of utilizing mycelium, the root structure of fungi, as a protein source for its meat alternative products. The company gained significant attention for its innovative approach, leading to substantial investments, including a $150 million Series C funding round in mid-2022. This funding was intended to support the construction of a large-scale production facility dubbed the Mega Ranch in Thornton, Colorado. The Series C funding round attracted notable investors such as Revolution Growth and Cultivate Next, a fund owned by Chipotle Mexican Grill, along with Grosvenor Food and AgTech. Prior investors included Acre Venture Partners, Congruent Ventures, Tau Capital, Prelude Ventures, and Bond Capital. The company has raised more than $450 million over 11 funding rounds. In early 2024, Phil Graves, formerly of Patagonia, was appointed CEO, succeeding co-founder Tyler Huggins, who transitioned to the role of Chief Innovation Officer. Under Graves' leadership, Meaty Foods aimed to achieve positive gross margins by the end of 2024, focusing on expanding distribution and product innovation. The company launched new products, including mycelium-based breakfast patties, and secured placements in major retailers, such as Sprouts Farmers Markets, Rayleigh's, and Harris Teeter, reaching approximately 7,000 stores nationwide.
Yeah, that's great. And what I hope for companies like Meaty is that they end up in like fast food restaurants and places like that where omnivores can try these products, because I'm not so sure that somebody's going to pick up a mycelium meat replacer in a grocery store and buy it if they're not already vegan or vegetarian.
Maybe.
It might just be a little too weird sounding. You know what I mean?
Maybe. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm really not sure. Meaty Foods' rapid ascent in the alternative protein market was marked by strategic partnerships and media buzz. Support from celebrities and athletes, including Rachel Ray, Derek Jeter, David Chang, Ali Reisman, and Chris Paul, elevated its market position. Jeter, an MLB Hall of Famer, joined Meaty Foods as an investor and advisor in June 2023. Jeter emphasized the company's commitment to nutrition, sustainability, and taste, stating, "When it came to considering an investment in this industry, I had three main priorities in evaluating the food: nutrition, sustainability, and taste," he said at the time. The company's products garnered attention for their nutritional benefits and sustainability as a whole-cut alternative to many ultra-processed plant-based meat alternatives. The company's innovative approach and product quality led to accolades, including in the Best Lunch and Dinner category in the 2025 Men's Health Food Award for its crispy cutlets. In July 2023, Meaty partnered with Dot Foods, North America's largest food industry redistributor, to expand its reach across all 50 states. This move was a significant step toward Meaty's goal of becoming the market leader in meat alternatives by 2025. Despite these achievements, the recent financial turmoil underscores the volatility and challenges within the alternative protein industry.
Yeah, it's a tough market, and it's becoming tougher and tougher as more companies are producing, and the innovation is changing. Like
so quickly.
Yeah, like the market, the vegan meat market is like rapidly evolving.
Well, of course.
So
I mean, and as technology improves and evolves, so shall the products.
Yeah, absolutely. And more of some of the, more common brands that we're familiar with, like Beyond Meat and Impossible.
Sure.
They're now making products that aren't solely vegan. And we can attest to that because recently Sam she pulled a me, which is this is something I usually do.
I did. I pulled a Christine.
And this is a product that I've seen other vegans post because they too picked it up. It's a breakfast sandwich that says really big on it, Impossible Breakfast.
Yes.
And it contains real egg and real dairy cheese.
Yeah, I was so disappointed in myself. So I had taken Natalie back to the airport to send her home. And I decided to stop at Wegmans on the way home because Christine and I had planned to have Impossible burgers, but we needed burger buns.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I'm not going to go to just any old grocery store and get chintzy burger buns. I'm going to see if I can't find
some bakery buns.
Really good rolls
at
Wegmans. And I did. I found some lovely Kaiser rolls and brought those home. But I decided to wander around for a little bit. And when I got to the, frozen section where they have all of their plant-based stuff, I just saw the bright red box of Impossible breakfast sandwiches.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh, we're going into a weekend. Who doesn't like a breakfast sandwich?
Yeah.
And so I grabbed a box of them. There's 2 in a package. And so I just grabbed one and tossed it into my cart. And then along with other things, packed all of that up and went home. And about halfway through my drive home, I kind of went, wait a minute.
What was on those
What was on
sandwiches?
those breakfast sandwiches?
It looked like egg.
Well, no, and because I didn't read the entire label.
Yeah.
It was really, really foolish of me.
Yeah.
And I haven't done that in years.
Yeah. Well, and it's partly because they're placing that product near the plant-based stuff.
Yes, near truly
not
vegan.
with they should be placing them with the regular omnivore frozen breakfast stuff.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
And so anyway, got home, I'm unpacking the grocery bags, and towards the bottom of the insulated bag, there were my Impossible breakfast sandwiches, and sure enough, with egg white and cheddar cheese.
Yeah, dairy cheese.
Yeah, so I was really, really disappointed in myself. We do have them stashed in our basement freezer right now. We figure maybe my brother will eat them.
Someone will eat them
next time he comes to visit.
Someone that's not vegan will eat them. So, but it's happened to the best of us. It's happened to me multiple times. It happened one other time. I think we were at Aldi's, and it was an Impossible product that time too.
Ravioli.
It was a Impossible ravioli, but it had dairy cheese in it.
Cheese in it.
Did not realize that until we got them home. So just be a little wary. Make sure you're closely reading labels of some of the more popular vegan meat brands because they're crossing over.
They are.
And part of me is like, oh man. And then a part of me is like, that's probably a good thing.
Sure.
At least people will taste it and go, hey, this isn't half bad. And then next time they buy burgers or something, maybe they'll stay away from animals and buy the Impossible burger. We can only hope.
We can.
Yeah. I mean, we all know we're not going to get out of this via consumerism. We're not going to end factory farming via consumerism. But if less people are eating animals, it's better.
Yep.
So we wish the best of luck to the Meaty Foods.
We sure do.
I hope that they figure it all out
Me too.
because it's a really innovative product. It's time for our main topic. That's right. Once again, we are taking the crazy train down to Reddit. Vegan, am I the asshat?
I do love these episodes.
Yeah,
we
usually
haven't done one in a while.
We haven't, and we need to step away from the doom and gloom that's happening around us on a daily basis, and see what some of these people are talking about on Reddit as far as veganism and whether or not they think they're asshats. You want to take the first one?
I will gladly take the first one. So this comes from Master Muffle. Am I the asshat for breaking up with my girlfriend because she doesn't want to be vegan anymore?
Ooh.
So I am a vegan for ethical reasons. My girlfriend was a vegan. Whenever we cook together, it is always a vegan meal, but even when my girlfriend is alone, we don't live together, I found out that she was cooking herself meat. I only found out because she told me last week. When I confronted her about it, she admits she doesn't want to be vegan anymore. I've told her I need time and space to myself to think, as I feel she was deceitful and I'm torn between her and my passion for animals. So far, she's telling me I'm being unreasonable. Am I the asshat?
For breaking up with her because, well, I mean, there are some trust issues going on there. If she was doing that behind her back, also, was she being vegan just because he was vegan, and not for, any of the right reasons, not for any of her own reasons? So, I don't know if I would go so far as to say that he's an asshat for breaking up with her, but I guess I would hope that they would have a bigger conversation about it, and a bigger conversation about how it made him feel that she kind of went behind his back and was, eating animals when she wasn't around him.
Yeah, I think there are two issues here. One is that deceit. That she's in her own home cooking meat and, using dairy products and all of that,
Right.
which is her right. She has every right to make that choice, but
Sure.
I don't think it's appropriate to lie about those choices
Right.
to someone who is your partner.
Right.
I don't know.
No, it's absolutely
that's a problem
wrong
for me.
Yeah, it's absolutely wrong. So if that's going to be a trend with her, if there's going to be trust issues in the relationship, going down the line years from now or whatever, if he can't trust her to be honest about something like this, I would wonder if maybe he didn't make the right decision, by breaking up with her.
So you think he's reconsidering his choice to break up with her?
No, I'm just saying, I think he maybe made the right decision.
Oh, no, I think he did make the right decision to
because
break up with her.
If there's this situation going on, there's definitely
right
going to be trust issues down the line.
To question her truthfulness.
Right.
Yes, absolutely. But also, if we can go to the core of this, I think it's kind of necessary that you share your partner's ethics.
Yeah, that's kind of a big thing.
As much as is humanly possible. I mean, we've talked about this before that, going vegan for us was really, really easy, but it's because both of us were on board.
Yeah, it would have been very difficult if one of us wanted to and the other one didn't.
Right. And as we became more involved in the ethical side of veganism, I think it would have been increasingly difficult.
Yeah.
For us to live together.
Yeah.
When one of us is trying to do the ethical vegan thing and other just isn't.
Exactly. I totally agree. I mean, you're talking about somebody's core beliefs, right?
Yeah.
And so, I've heard of couples where their politics is different. And in the past, that might not have been such a big deal. But now,
yeah,
if your politics is the opposite in the political climate that we're living in now,
Right.
I think that's a deal breaker.
Well,
You
sure.
know?
And particularly if you're passionate about those politics.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
So yeah, when you're talking about someone's core ethical beliefs, I don't think that he's an asshat, and
No.
I hate to say, break up with somebody if they're not vegan. That's not what's happening here.
No.
It's a trust issue, and I'm not so sure that he didn't. Yeah, he did. I think he did the right thing.
Well, yeah, I think he did the right thing in being true to himself and
Yeah.
to his ethics and all of that. I honestly think, I want to give her like a half cheeker or something.
Yeah, a little bit for being
the deception.
Yeah, for being deceitful.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she gets a half cheek.
Yeah, I think a half cheek on the girlfriend, but Master Muffle, you're okay.
Yeah, let us know what you think of that situation. Up next, we have a post from someone who I can't say their name because it's obscene. Making
Oh
comparisons.
God, yes it is. Oh yeah, we can't say that.
No, we can't.
We really can't say that.
We can't say it.
And wouldn't if we could, because
Yeah.
No.
Making comparisons to other injustices, right or wrong. Someone posted in a vegan Facebook group asking for help convincing their vegetarian friend to go vegan. They received a reply saying, "This is why vegans are hated. Don't force your vegan beliefs on others." I had responded that if someone said, "Hey, my friend says he's not racist, but he still says the N-word, how can I get him to stop?" That they would not have responded saying, "Stop forcing your beliefs," and that it's natural for people seeing what they perceive as an injustice to want to convince others to stop committing that injustice. I then got a reply from a white person saying that my comment was in horrible taste and comparing people of color to animals. I responded that both are injustices that strip the identity of the victim stemming from views instilled during that person's upbringing, and when I remove the speciesist beliefs that a comparison to an animal is automatically negative, my comment does not come with intentions to harm in the way a racist making comparisons to animals would be. To me, they are both oppressed classes that should have people standing up for them, and that is the only comparison I was making. Am I wrong in making this comparison? Would it be more appropriate to make a comparison to another marginalized class, or to avoid making comparisons like that at all? This is interesting.
it is.
This is a really interesting dilemma.
Well, and this is one of the things that I think plagues most social justice movements.
Sure, cancel culture.
Yeah, a bit
right?
of, well, yes, a bit of cancel culture, but the idea that if you are heavily involved in one social justice movement,
Yeah.
that you are somehow not involved in the rest, or that the one that you are committed to is somehow more important than
Right.
any of the others. There's also a terrible misperception that vegans, because the core of the vegan argument is compassion to all beings, but it tends to focus on farmed animals more than any other for obvious reasons, that vegans don't care about human animals, which
Right.
is nowhere close to the case, quite the opposite.
Right.
I think it's really imperative that folks involved in social justice movements understand that in every case, what we're looking at is a huge power imbalance between an oppressor and the oppressed.
Right.
Whether we're talking about patriarchy, or we're talking about racism or sexism or homophobia or speciesism, they're all the same problem,
Right.
just with different participants. And so I personally don't find this comparison to be at all offensive.
I don't find it offensive either. I think he's making a really good point that this is an ethical and a social justice issue,
Yes.
right? Veganism. And he's just trying to say you wouldn't tell somebody who was trying to convince a racist friend not to be racist to stop pushing their beliefs on other people.
Right.
I think he's making a valid point there.
Absolutely.
And I think that somebody, if somebody was offended by that, and he said it was a white person that said they were offended by it, that they're missing the point completely.
Absolutely.
You know?
And also comparing the experience of a Black person living under the social construct of racism, which is sadly alive and well in this country today, and the experience of a farmed animal in a speciesist society. Are they identical? No.
Of course they're
not.
They're not identical, but let's take a look at how our country was during the times of enslaved people.
Certainly.
Right?
Right.
They were treated like livestock.
Yes.
So it's a valid comparison.
It's certainly a valid comparison, but also just the idea that because two constructs are similar, it doesn't mean that the experience of the people stuck in those constructs will be exactly the same.
Exactly.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So it's kind of you can compare without equating.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Oh, totally. It makes total sense.
Yeah. Comparison is not equation.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So this person is definitely not an asshat in any sort of way. And I commend them for their comparison because I think they make a really valid point.
Yeah. Are we on to the next?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I can't give the name of this author because it's been deleted. So we're just going to call them deleted.
Deleted.
Yes, by deleted. Am I the asshat for, air quotes, breaking my vegan diet? Hi, people. My entire family are vegans, and my dad especially is a very vocal vegan. He goes to vegan protests, was in vegan groups in our old city. He's a vegan activist, which I love. I'm not trying to paint those things as bad. I really respect him for his thoughts. My brother and I have both been raised vegan our entire lives. At school, it's always made me feel othered, in the best way to explain it. Never able to eat anything sold in the school cafeteria. At friends' birthdays, never able to eat a piece of cake with my friends. Or having to be the one who says, we can't go to that restaurant. They don't serve any vegan food. Always having to explain why I'm not allowed to try a bite of their sandwich. They aren't huge things, but they are the things that make me stick out. Since I'm an awkward guy anyway, it just doesn't help me socially. So when we moved cities and I joined a new school last Monday, I decided that I'm not going to follow the vegan diet while I'm at school. I kept this to myself because I know my parents wouldn't support it and would be angry. When at home or with my parents, I will follow the vegan diet. But if I'm out with my friends or at school, I'm not going to say. In my mind, this was respectful of my parents' wishes. No meat in the house or around them, but by myself is different. My brother and I both go to this new school. Since we don't share a lunchtime, I didn't tell him that I wasn't going to follow the vegan diet. I didn't think he would support it, and I thought he would tell Dad. Things have been going all right, but I didn't know that on Fridays my brother's lunchtime would be at the same time as mine. I was sitting with some new friends and I was eating a cheese pizza. This is the only non-vegan food I've eaten so far. I want to try pepperoni, but it still feels a little scary. And my brother caught me and asked what I was doing eating pizza. I tried to play it off, but I knew I was screwed. My brother told my parents, and now everyone is really upset at me. I've been grounded, and my dad said he's going to call my new school and tell them that if they sell me non-vegan food, he will put in a discrimination complaint, which is just going to make me seem like a weirdo now. I tried to explain to him that I was trying to be respectful by not doing it here, but my parents just gave me a huge lecture about how I'm so selfish for breaking this diet. He said he can't trust me anymore. And now I feel guilty in one half of my brain, and in another, I'm telling myself it isn't that big of a deal and that they're overreacting. But I don't know if I'm just being blind. Please, no debates about the ethics of the vegan diet. I don't care to debate it with anyone. I'm sure there are subreddits where people will be happy to. Please focus on my situation when giving your verdict.
I have to say this is very well written for a young person.
I'm really impressed with this.
Yeah.
In a number of ways, actually.
Yeah. And as far as the asshat or not asshat, I'm going to say right off the bat, I don't think that this boy is an asshat. I think that I understand his parents' idea that kind of like under my roof, my rules kind of situation. I understand that they're very passionate ethical vegans, and I understand that they feel a little bit betrayed by him.
Sure.
But I can also understand when he very well explained his feelings of being othered amongst his peer group.
Sure.
And the fact that he's already considers himself a bit of a geeky guy and doesn't need anything else for kids to make fun of him
Sure.
about. So I can totally understand where he's coming from, that he wants to fit in socially. This is a really tough time for young people, and it really important to them that they don't stand out socially in a negative way. So I'm going to say no, he's not an asshat, and I'm a little disappointed in his parents for being, I don't know, for making him feel so bad about it.
Yeah, that to me shows a significant lack of empathy.
Yeah.
For their son's situation.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, when I was a teenager, because I'm assuming that this young man is a teenager.
It sounds like he's a teenager.
Yeah, in that realm somewhere. It really was challenging to be different.
Yeah, absolutely.
For any reason. Like, for any reason.
Yeah.
And, even kids back then would pick out anything and everything, to make you feel excluded.
Yeah.
And I think that has just ramped up a millionfold with social media.
Yeah, they all have phones. They can text each other things
That's
about
right.
other people.
So, I mean, I can't even imagine what the harassment would be like at in this day and age.
Yeah.
It makes me really glad I'm not a teenager.
I don't envy them.
At this time. No.
Yeah.
No, definitely not. And so another thing to consider, though, is sure, when your kids are kids, bring them up in your ethics, in your morality, whatever that is. That's fine.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But as they get closer to becoming full-fledged adults, they are going to start to make choices for themselves.
Yeah, and you kind of have to let them make those choices. I mean,
right.
given that they're not going to harm themselves by any of those choices, but
Yes.
you kind of have to let them find their own way.
Well, it's an absolutely necessary part of that transition from adolescent to adult.
Yeah.
They need agency. They need to be able to make their own choices and know
Yeah.
that they're not going to be devalued by people close to them because of those choices.
Yeah, and this might even be a case where this kid may end up going back to veganism.
He very well
once,
may.
Yeah, once he doesn't have the pressure of a high school peer group. If he goes on to college, he might find, God, there's lots of social justice
That's right.
activities going on at most universities, and he might feel more empowered to own his veganism.
Absolutely. I agree completely. And so I'm going to go with, maybe a half cheeker or so for the parents
Yeah.
on this one, and maybe even a little bit for the brother
Yeah.
who ratted him out.
Yeah, that's siblings.
That is siblings, but still, yeah, a decided lack of empathy on the part of the family. I mean, there should have been a more of, oh, well, I'm so sorry to hear that. Why did you feel the need to make that choice?
Yeah, and I'm hoping, because this is just one moment in time.
Yeah.
This post, I'm hoping the parents had some time to talk to him, to think about it, and maybe, have come around to what we were saying, that he needs to be able to make some of his own decisions and needs to develop his own moral code.
Yes.
At this time in his life.
That's right.
That was a good one.
That was a really good one.
Yeah. And I always appreciate when they're kind of well written.
Oh, me too.
Because some of them are so bad.
It's true.
And the fact that it was a young person gives me hope for the future.
Indeed.
This next one comes from Flachinachili. Okay.
Cool.
Am I the asshat for canceling Christmas, donating the gifts to PETA, and refusing to cater to my vegan daughter? Yeah, that's a doozy.
Huh. Interesting.
Okay, there's a lot of updates at the beginning. We'll get to those. We'll get to those later.
Okay, so we're going to go for the original post?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
I, a 42 female, have always gone above and beyond to make Christmas magical for my family. I'm talking extravagant decorations, gourmet meals, and expensive gifts. This year included a PS5 and designer items. But every year, my husband, a 45-year-old man, and kids, 15 and 13 and 9, act completely ungrateful. This year, I had one rule. They needed to show some appreciation for the effort that I put in. Well, that didn't happen. My 9-year-old whined nonstop about wanting to open presents early. My 15-year-old mocked the matching pajamas I got for everyone, saying they were cringe. And my husband suggested we skip the fancy meal I planned and just order pizza. Oh. But the final straw was my 13-year-old daughter. She became vegan earlier this year and has been insufferable about it. For Christmas dinner, I told her she could eat the side dishes if she didn't want to eat the turkey, but she accused me of being lazy and disrespecting her beliefs. She demanded that I make her a vegan entree and even said if you cared about animals, you wouldn't serve a dead bird in the first place. Well, that was it. I canceled Christmas. I packed up all the presents. I donated them to a local chapter of PETA. Yes, PETA. I figured if my daughter was so passionate about animals, she'd appreciate the gesture. Instead, she screamed at me, saying PETA is problematic and accused me of using her beliefs against her. My husband was furious and said I went way too far. To make matters worse, my sister-in-law texted me this, and she has a screen capture of a text that says, "So you ruined Christmas for your kids," and donated their presents to, and it cuts off there, but
no, it says on mine, it says, "So you ruined Christmas for your kids and donated their presents to a crazy organization."
Oh, to a crazy organization.
Yes.
Okay. I told her she had no right to judge me since her family barely celebrates Christmas and just buys cheap gift cards for everybody. When she wouldn't stop texting, I blocked her. Now my whole family is mad at me. My 13-year-old says she's been traumatized. My husband is calling me vindictive. And my mother-in-law says I've gone too far. But honestly, if they can't appreciate what I do, why should I bother? Am I the asshat for canceling Christmas and donating all the gifts to PETA and refusing to cater to my vegan daughter? There's some updates here. Update number 1. I didn't expect this post to blow up so much, taking into account the huge outpouring of support and not the asshat votes that I've decided to break into my sister-in-law's garage. What?
She says the sister-in-law is 33, evil, possibly assassinated Lincoln. See helpful comment from a Redditor who alerted me to this.
And use what may be a time machine, may just be a vintage car, and travel back in time to cancel all the previous Christmases. And listening to the concerns raised about PETA, donate the presents directly to stray cats, dogs, badgers, foxes, and farm animals.
Update number 2. A lot of people didn't check the sub or flare. I feel slightly guilty and will definitely add more outrageous details if I make another post on this sub, as when I first got caught out by the algorithm and discovered this subreddit was quickly obvious it wasn't real. What?
Oh, I think she was saying that a lot of the comments that she was receiving were bots. She's thinking they were bots.
Oh. Oh, okay. I was thinking that she was suddenly admitting that this was not a genuine happening. No? Okay.
Unless she's talking about the update, because the update was pretty funny.
The update was funny. I appreciated the update. I really liked that, actually.
But
that was fun.
Let's get to the heart of the matter. Do we feel like this woman is an asshat?
No, I don't feel like she's an asshat. I feel like she's surrounded by them, though.
Well, I feel like she's a little bit too consumerist when it comes to Christmas.
Certainly.
I understand that she wants to make everything perfect, but to buy all kinds of expensive things and, expensive decorations and just all a bunch of stuff that doesn't need to exist.
Well, sure, but then the fact that her husband and her children are feeling entitled to this
is
a problem.
Don't get me wrong, her family sucks. I thought it was really funny that the one daughter said that the pajamas were cringe. But
Well, what teenager wouldn't say that matching pajamas were cringe?
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, come on.
Yeah. And what did the 9-year-old say? The 9-year-old whined nonstop about wanting to open all the presents early.
Yeah.
And the husband wanted to cancel her beautiful dinner that she had planned
And just order pizza.
and just ordered pizza. So there's a part of me that really appreciates what she did, giving the gifts, donating all the gifts to PETA.
Yeah.
Of course, it was pretty vindictive on her part.
No, I don't think it was vindictive. I think it was exasperated.
I suppose she was pushed to it.
Because
Yeah.
it sounds like this complete lack of appreciation
Yeah.
for the work that she puts in
Yeah.
to making the biggest holiday of the year, if they're anything like our family,
Mm-hmm.
into something special is completely disregarded.
Yeah.
No one appreciates it.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you get fed up?
I suppose I would.
I mean,
Yeah.
if this is happening year after year and she's spending all kinds of time and money and
Yeah.
effort and nobody in your family appreciates it
No, they're completely ungrateful.
completely. And so
Yeah.
that would tick me off after a while too. And you know what? I probably would cancel Christmas too.
I know, and I do really appreciate what she did.
And so I don't think it's vindictive at all. I
No.
think it's, you know what? This is the straw.
You're right. It's exasperation.
It's exasperation.
Yeah.
It's, you know what? I am not putting up with this crap anymore.
right.
And I'm 100% with her.
Yeah.
I really am.
Yeah. Well, I don't completely agree with her huge consumerist Christmas.
No, that's not the point.
I do agree that her family is being is acting completely entitled and ungrateful.
Yes,
Yeah. So no, you're not an asshat,
definitely not.
but your family, there's some asshats in there.
There really are. And thinking about this in respect to the vegan daughter, well, okay, we've had some other Am I the Asshat episodes where we've run into relatively new teenage vegans.
Yeah.
And
They can be dramatic.
they can be a little dramatic.
Yeah.
And so while, sure, I agree that ideally there wouldn't be a turkey on the dinner table,
Right.
but it sounds to me like mom made all of the sides vegans.
Yeah,
so
that's what she
she
said.
could eat them.
Yeah.
And so I think that's fine. I mean, we still have celebrations where there is some meat on the table,
Yeah.
but everybody makes sure that all of the sides are vegan. And then we bring like a Gardein roast or something for
Yeah.
ourselves.
Yeah, we always bring like vegan sides and maybe a vegan main. And everybody else is welcome to eat those
Yes.
also.
And perhaps that's just the maturity of age, someone who's 50 versus someone who's 13.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So no, I really don't think that you are the asshat, and I completely understand your frustration with your family.
Yeah. And I'm sorry to hear that your sister-in-law killed, what'd she say? She killed
Abraham Lincoln. Like, I want to know more about that.
No. I don't know. I don't know if she was making some sort of a dig on the fact that her car is old.
I don't know, but that was still really funny.
I don't know. It was really funny. We have one last scenario here that we
do.
want to read.
And this comes from Susan Rez. Am I the asshat for telling my vegan friend I don't want to come over for Thanksgiving dinner? I, a 54-year-old female, have a friend, a 55-year-old female, who went vegan 10 years ago. We've been friends 20 years or more. We have a large group of friends, 15 to 20 of us, and there are a few of us that switch off cooking dinner on Thanksgiving for whoever happens to be in town. Since Anne went vegan, we've always accommodated her dietary restrictions with at the very least some tofurkey, a side dish, and one dessert being strictly vegan. This year, Anne jumped in early and for the first time ever said she wanted to cook Thanksgiving this year. Not a problem. Until she informed us in the group that dinner will be 100% vegan. Some of us offered to bring more omnivore offerings, including a turkey, and she insisted we eat vegan while at her house. She declared that vegan food tastes exactly the same as omnivore food. It does not. I've been to her house and choked down bean burgers and chocolate cake and probably a dozen other meals, each of which she insisted tasted just like the real thing. She even tried to fool me once with a Beyond Burger, insisting it was a regular hamburger. I have only found a limited number of vegan dishes I enjoy, and none of them have ever been made by her. After thinking it over and discussing it with my husband, we decided to privately tell her we were bowing out of dinner on Thanksgiving this year. I told her I wanted turkey, mashed potatoes, pumpkin pie that were made with traditional ingredients. I could have lied and said we had plans to travel to see family, but I don't want to lie. Anne has become angrier and angrier with me since I told her this about a week ago. Then she went and complained to some of the women in our group about me refusing to attend just because she's cooking. Which is sort of true, but still made me angry. So I ended up explaining to the other ladies that we all very considerately make vegan dishes just for her at every party and get-together any of us throw, and it's really unreasonable for her to insist that I strictly adhere to her dietary choices when I have never demanded the same from her. So that blew up because all the ladies have now jumped to my way of thinking and decided they will have Thanksgiving at one of their houses instead. We won't be attending their Thanksgiving either. My husband says we probably should have just lied about going out of town, or at the very least, I should have not explained my reasoning to the other ladies. I've decided to stay out of it from here on out, but somehow Anne blames me for the whole debacle. Am I the asshat for declining to attend a vegan Thanksgiving?
Yes. Yes. We've had scenarios similar to this in the past. And my thought is always, it's one meal. This isn't the first Thanksgiving. It's one meal. Why can't you just be with your friends and their family or whoever, be grateful for their existence, be thankful for the food that's provided, and have a good time? Why is it such a sticking point that you have turkey on the table? Is your friendship worth a dead turkey? That's my thought.
I have multiple thoughts on this one. Surprise, surprise. And yes, one of them is agreeing with you that one would think that a 20 plus year friendship would be worth more than what's on a dinner table.
Right. Even if her friend is not a particularly good cook.
Right. Exactly. Now, I do understand Anne, the vegan in this group, insisting that her friends eat vegan in her house.
That makes complete sense to me.
It makes complete sense to me. Although, I'm going to do one little caveat.
Okay.
Because we regularly go to our family members who are omnivores and bring vegan food. So I think, and we've made tiny exceptions before, mostly for Lucy, that if they wanted to bring a non-vegan dish, that would be okay, but that she herself would not cook any non-vegan food.
Yeah, I'm not down with that. I'm sorry.
I know. I'm
not.
just trying to help the situation here.
One way is not the same as the other way. You know what I'm saying? Us bringing vegan food is not the same as someone bringing a dead animal.
No, I agree with that completely. I agree with that completely.
It's not the same thing. So I don't agree with you there. We're going to have to agree to disagree on that one.
Well, and that's fine. And it's not that I disagree. It's just that I have this thing in my head where I balance both sides of the question.
Sure.
And, so it's not that I'm disagreeing with you. I mean,
Yeah.
I do agree with you. But at the same time, I can see a little bit of the other side, of the friend saying, well, we accommodate you at every single at every single gathering we have.
Right.
Why aren't you willing to accommodate us? Now, there's a significant ethical difference.
Yeah, there's a huge
there.
ethical
Yes.
difference.
And so I don't want to sound like I'm trying to negate or minimize that in any way.
I understand.
They're very, very different. But I can understand how the omnivore author is feeling that way, and perhaps doesn't understand the depth of her friend's ethical veganism.
Right.
She just may not be aware.
She doesn't get it.
That's right.
She doesn't get it. She's looking at it as a diet, and
Yes,
she's focusing solely on the food.
That's a really good way to put it. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, in terms of the rest, I think if I were the omnivore, and I felt this way about Thanksgiving, which neither of those things will be true because I don't have any real attachment to Thanksgiving.
Right.
Like it doesn't affect me in any way.
Oh, I love Thanksgiving just because of stuffing.
I have no
I don't-
strong feelings.
I don't love Thanksgiving because of the colonizing.
No. We definitely don't like
all of the
that.
political background involved around
so much.
Thanksgiving. But I'm sure you've heard in many episodes how much I love stuffing.
Yes, and I certainly will not turn down mashed potatoes. So,
Right.
There are some benefits for sure.
Yeah.
But if I were the omnivore in this situation, I don't think I would have lied and said we're going out of town. I think that's a step too far.
I do appreciate her being honest about it.
I do too. But I think I would have said just something simple like, we can't make it this year. Just that. We can't make it. Not give a reason, not explain yourself.
Yeah, I suppose.
So she doesn't need to feel badly, so that the vegan doesn't need to feel badly.
I suppose.
And I also wouldn't have spread that to the rest of the friend group.
Yeah, no.
Because that's just going to create drama. And it did.
There's going to be drama, yeah.
Yes,
for
and
sure.
it did. If she had just left it between herself and her vegan friend, I think this all would have been simplified quite a bit.
Yeah, you're probably right there.
But by then retelling the story to their entire friend group,
Yeah.
you're just creating drama where none needs to exist.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I don't have any sympathy for that.
I think she's an asshat, and I'm sticking by my decision.
I'm really a 50-50 on this one.
Yeah, you're another half cheeker.
Yeah,
Oh
kinda.
my gosh. Well,
Kinda.
we now have one full cheek and a half if you put them all together.
That's true. All
Yeah.
right. Cool.
So let us know if you agree or disagree with how we've decided whether or not people are asshats in those scenarios. Those are always kind of a rockin' good time.
I do enjoy those a whole lot.
That takes us to this week's Assignment Restaurant SOS. And this week, we are highlighting the Red Fern in Rochester, New York.
Do love the Red Fern. We've only been there once.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I would love to go back because we had an absolutely beautiful meal there for my birthday like 3 years ago.
Yeah, their food's really good.
And it was really fantastic. For those of you who don't know, they are located at 283 Oxford Street in Rochester, New York. And you can check out their website at redfernrochester.com.
Yeah, let's take a little look, a little gander here at their menu. They have a very well put together menu page.
They really do. And they have, of course, dine-in, takeout, and delivery, which is amazing. You can pick up, you can DoorDash, you can Grubhub, you can do all the things.
Yeah, and they have multiple menus. They have their regular food menu. They have their gluten-free menu. They have a nut-free menu, a soy-free menu, onion-free menu, garlic-free menu, and an oil-free menu.
That's amazing.
So they're catering to everyone.
They really are.
And of course, it's all 100% vegan.
I'm going to just the food menu.
Let's go to the food menu and look at some food. Their menu is so filled with stuff.
It really is. That's super cool.
With the writing on the website, it's a little small. So I just had to blow it up a little bit so I can see.
Okay.
They have a snacks section on their menu, which is fun. They have mac and cheese nachos and tons of stuff you can put on them. Buffalo tempeh, tempeh bacon, avocado puree, spicy meat sauce, pickled jalapenos, spicy sour cream. You can get them loaded with all of the stuff. You can get them super loaded with even more stuff.
That's fun.
You can get quesadillas. They have cheddar. They have Italian sausage quesadilla, kale, and pickled red pepper. It's just, wow.
Yeah. And so this is really kind of beautiful comfort food. Yeah. Again, mac and cheese nachos. We've got quesadillas. We've got sandwiches of all types. We've got a buffalo chicken bacon ranch wrap and a steak bomb and, a buffalo blue sandwich. So really, really wonderful things. They've got a tofu egg sandwich. And then they've got plates. And one of them is the compost plate, which is essentially the vegan version of Rochester's famous garbage plate.
The garbage plate.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so their compost plate comes with macaroni salad, sweet potato salad, a spicy vegan meat sauce, balsamic field greens, focaccia, and choice of protein, which could be either a lentil burger, a spicy buffalo tempeh, barbecue tempeh, tempeh bacon, lemon maple tofu, Italian sausage, or seitan steak. You can also take the compost plate and make it a burrito.
Wow.
That's just cool.
That sounds kind of fabulous. And I do like that they, even though it is comfort food, there's some really healthy options in here too. You know, some really healthy wraps and like,
Beautiful salads.
And they're like house-made lentil burgers and all kinds of healthier choices if you don't want to go down the kind of vegan junk food path.
Like
right?
I'm all about the sesame kale crunch salad.
Yeah.
Kale, quinoa salad with broccoli, carrot, edamame, scallions, and citrus and green cabbage, toasted almonds, sesame seeds, and miso tahini dressing.
Yeah.
That sounds phenomenal.
Yeah. Their menu is huge.
It really is.
It's very extensive. So here's the rub. Well, not really a rub. Here's the deal. Here's what's happening. Let's get down to brass tacks. If you go to the Red Fern and have a meal in the next couple of weeks, let's say until the end of March, send us a picture of your meal. Let us know what the meal was. You know, tell us who you are. And you will be entered in to win a free dinner at the Red Fern.
That's right. We'd like to buy you dinner.
We do. We want to buy you dinner. So you can email those pictures to us at compassionandcucumbers@gmail.com. Let us know you've eaten at the Red Fern. Show us a picture of your meal and we'll enter you in to win.
And just a couple of weeks from now, as we get into the beginning of April, we will draw a lucky winner for a free dinner on us.
Yeah. And now it's time for our favorite portion of the show.
Must be listener shout out time.
It's listener shout out.
Just want to give a shout out to all my fans watching. I love you guys. I love you.
This week, our listener shout out goes to Kristen McDermott. Kristen joined our last vegan trivia event in Syracuse. Thank you so much, Kristen, for coming out and playing and for listening to the show.
Yeah, thank you, Kristen. And send us your t-shirt size and address so we can send you a Compassion and Cucumbers swag bag. It's a bag of swag. You can email us.
Hence the name.
Did you know? Here's a little fun fact. Swag means stuff we
all get.
Stuff we all get.
Come on, these are fun facts, guys. Let's have fun with them.
Anywho, email us at compassionandcucumbers@gmail.com, your name, your address, and your t-shirt size, and we will send you a Compassion and Cucumbers swag bag.
And for the rest of you out there, if you would like a listener shout out, please text, email, or DM us. Let us know what you think of the show and tell us a little bit about yourself. You can also always nominate someone else for a shout out.
You can, and that's fun. Do that.
It is. Doesn't need to be all about you.
No, nominate someone else.
Make it about your favorite vegan.
Yeah. Well, let's wrap this baby up. Before we go, don't forget, subscribe to the show on your favorite podcast app. Subscribe to our YouTube. Leave us a review and a rating if your app lets you do that. Tell a friend, tell some family, tell everyone you know to come on out and listen to Compassion and Cucumbers so we can, reach more people. We want to reach more great people. Get news about the show by subscribing to our weekly newsletter at our website. It's compassionandcucumbers.com. Put in your email address and we'll sign you up to get our weekly newsletter. We don't spam you or anything. Once a week, I send out a newsletter, let you know what's going on in the show. Once we get into Veg Fest season, you might get an email or two telling you where we're going to be.
Absolutely.
And we're going to put together, I'm working on a more extensive listing of vegan events, not only in our area, but across the country.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, you'd be surprised. There really isn't one place you can go to find out all that information.
No, you have to go down many rabbit holes.
Yeah, so it's taking me some time to compile it, and so I'm working on that. And what I'm going to do is just map it out, and then as we're closer to events, I'm not going to list all of them.
Right.
But I might make a downloadable list or a downloadable guide or something to U.S. Veg Fests and vegan fairs.
I love that. That's
So
awesome.
I'm working on that.
Go you.
Yeah.
And with that, it's time to sign off. You have just listened to episode 176 of the Compassion and Cucumbers podcast.
You did.
And there's nothing left to say
There's
but
not.
where cukes and compassion are always the fashion. On the podcast.
Thanks, James.
Have a great week, everyone.
We'll talk to you next Tuesday.
We love you.
We do. Bye-bye.
The end.